tell you something. Hey, will you be my therapist for a second?
Dude, I teach a meditation class, loving kindness.
Oh, I actually need to talk to you. I've been having a feeling. Let me share this with the community. Because I thought this ever since I went on the Lex Friedman podcast.
Oh, no, this is falsehood.
No, but let me talk about it.
You're so righteous.
Let me say what it is. I have felt for a long time that my channel was underrated. And I loved it. Like when I had 100,000 subs, I was like, I'm underrated. When I had 150,000 subs, I said, my channel, it's underrated. I'm becoming overrated.
There's more to go.
There's more to go. But well, this is my thing. I think I have a psychological block because I do not feel that I am worthy. So my problem is that I do have something to say. I just don't know if I have something to say to 1.6. Like the number's too big now. And I'm having trouble with it. And the answer is, well, one way to deal with imposter syndrome is to get a big ego. But I don't think that's my answer. I think you become
That's how everyone sells out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. So what do I do, Baba Amish?
First of all, have compassion for yourself. You're doing God's work. This is incredible God's work you're doing. It is worth millions more. Now, there's a couple of things here, though, too, technical things. Your brain is thinking 1.5 million, that's too much. But I don't think you're accurate on those numbers, because if 1.5 million are watching it, that means that there's probably 50 million who would watch it.
Don't tell me that. That's worse.
That's the vastness of the world, brother. That is the vastness of God's green earth, that God has put this many people, and you are here to create for them.
Now I'm like, I don't know if I want to grow it. I want to kind of slow my roll a bit. You know what it is? I just see the arc of so many creators. Mm-hmm. They fly too close to the sun. They get like Sam Bankman-Fried. They get billions, and then they go down because they didn't like. I feel like there's an appropriate growth rate.
Yeah,
and it's not fast. It's like if you want longevity, because I'm doing my dream job right now.
Yes,
I'm doing my dream job. I love it. This is what I want to do, creatively fulfilling. But I don't want to just do it in a flash in the pan way. I want to grow slow.
It's got to be consistent.
Grow long. Yeah. And everybody that I see that blows up like fast,
but I wouldn't say it's fast. And here's the thing.
Yeah, it hasn't been for me, but just recently it's been too fast. It's been like, that's what I said about the Lex thing. I said ever since Lex, because I felt like it was.
Listen, man, these are things that your focus has to go into the next video and the next con artist, and that's where your mental effort goes. And here's the thing, the numbers, just by the nature of it and the nature of the size of God's earth, it's so much bigger than you can fathom in your mind. So you're thinking, as one guy sitting in your house in Texas, like, it's enough, I don't need any more, like you're thinking like it's enough and one person shouldn't have all this power. But if your message is righteous, which it is, then it must be heard by it. And now too, right, like, I don't think you need to necessarily look at it all the time and say like, oh, it's growing fast. Like, I think you're almost at a growth phase. You know, there's a book called Mastery by George Leonard, something like that. But he basically talks about how, like, in your life, you're gonna grow, and then there's gonna be plateaus, and then you're gonna grow, and there's gonna be plateaus. And so this 1.5 million, and maybe YouTube hits in general, is like you've outgrown looking at that now, and now it's about righteousness. It's about like, and the right, going after the right people, and then. Yeah, like, but ultimately, without having an ego, it's so good that you don't have an ego and that you're like worried about this. There it is. It's so good that you don't have an ego and you're not worried about this. Because now
having this beautiful moment and then the webcam utility.
I know, right? But I think now your mental energy is going to shift away from numbers, which at this point it feels like they grow exponentially now. Like they kind of grow themselves a little bit. Each good video is not going to get you like 100 new subscribers. It's going to be thousands of new subscribers every time.
Well, but here's the thing too. I think a lot of it is just been the FTX stuff, which is just, of course, that's going to like view-wise blow up. But really, it's like after that all dies down, I think the channel's going to slow down a lot, and I'm looking forward to it because I'm not I do think it's been a little crazy. Like just this last month for me has been crazy, and
it's hectic. You got to do other shows.
Yeah, and it's too much. It's just I feel a little, when you're on too much caffeine and you're just kind of too stimulated. I feel too stimulated from attention. There's too many people that paid attention to me this month, And I think that may be one of my big problems is like, it's just like too many people. And then like, I need to go back. Life needs to settle back in. And I'm a little just
fair enough.
Freaked out.
Can I show you something?
Yeah.
This is something I teach in my class. It's I'm just going to pull it in. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the screen. Lovenometry.
Teach the class.
This is, so let's just say when you started the channel, you're here. Like, this is how much love is coming in, right? All the time.
Yeah.
Let's say you're here when you started the channel here. We're all like rising up. Your capacity for love and creativity is growing. So what bothers you today, tomorrow it will become like easy little side things. You know, because you're talking about like you had a hectic month. But think about like a year ago, you thought you had a hectic month a year ago. That's probably like a regular day for you.
Oh.
The capacity will grow, brother. It has to grow. But you're growing it steadily without being cocky, which is so good. It's so valuable.
Well,
it's something that you see in all these cult leaders. They don't know how to do it.
Can I tell you something? It gives me so much sympathy for people who actually blow up. Because what I'm talking about is like one crazy month after, I don't know how long I've been at this, since what, 20, I was doing YouTube in college. So, I mean,
yeah,
2014 or something. I mean, I've been at this for like probably 8, I don't know, somewhere between 6 to 8 years I've been doing YouTube. And then all of a sudden I had a crazy month. Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine if you all of a sudden, and I'm overstimulated. Imagine if you blow up just overnight. Just imagine what that does to your psyche.
Yeah.
You're very like sympathetic of, I think about it like, I think I probably said this, but I think about it like mountain climbing. And you know how there's a whole thing that if you don't acclimatize to the height, you like freak out and you're like, you get all sick.
Yeah.
I think that happens with notoriety. I think you can't, if you grow too fast, it's like too much. Just mentally, you cannot handle it. So I'm grateful in a way that I didn't blow up faster. I'm like thankful for that. And then I'm just thinking maybe just slow it down a bit, maybe chill.
Yeah, God wants you to have the capacity to handle it. Because even not being married, dude, the fact that you're married, you're so stable now. You can stably get to 50 million without turning into a psycho.
I would have gone nuts single.
And doing group sex
I
shit.
would have gone nuts. Yeah, no. Seriously, having a wife has been incredible for my, like, it just stays.
Very stabilizing.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, because you go back, you go into the house, and then all of a sudden, it's like, you're just a guy
the
who
jitters go away.
Well, I'm the guy who hasn't done the laundry, and I'm in trouble. And it's like, that's good. That's good.
That's great. That keeps you humble. You know, I remember Jake the Snake Roberts was talking about this, where he's like, he just blew up too fast. Like he popped off in wrestling. You know Jake the Snake Roberts? Mm-hmm. You familiar with him? He had a snake. He had a mustache, snake, whatever. And he was in the documentary. He's talking about like, he's like, I can't have sex with my wife anymore. I've had too much group sex. I can't have sex with my wife anymore. Like he can't handle it. He's like, I'm 37 years old or whatever. I blow up. Every time I go do a show, 6 models want to have sex with me. What can I do? And he's like, I can't do anything. I ruined my marriage.
I'm a ruined man.
He's like, I'm ruined. But yeah, he obviously didn't have that capacity though. You know what I mean? Like you have to have the capacity. Yeah, as you grow. It's crazy how many even like good people on YouTube just suffered like severe, like pretty ugly mental health issues. I mean, there's whole channels made about it. There's probably 6 YouTube channels about YouTubers having mental health breaks and falling apart.
I think
like including Internet AJ and stuff like that.
I think my bigger problem was last year, I was burnt out.
Yeah.
That was when I was the most like just exhausted. This time I'm more internally monitoring and I'm like, I want to watch. I need to keep an eye on this. Like I don't want it to, I just don't like it. But I'm not, how do you say? Like it's not like affecting me in the way that last year I had finished the year making 30 videos in 30 days or something like that. Like it was a lot, or 27 videos in 27 days. And it was too much. Like I got burnt out. I think a lot of YouTubers are on that content treadmill. And I think there's a level of detachment that you need to cultivate from your own BS, your own analytics, your own life. And I think part of that is like a lot of my YouTube. Do you talk to a lot of YouTubers?
I mean, comics. It's the same shit.
Okay,
they're just
it is the same stuff. It is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Preachers too. Let me tell you, preachers. Dude, you think they'd be in a different game? They're on the same hustle. I gotta grow my congregation.
Right. And I'm sure they're exhausted and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most of them don't make it. Like we hear about the rich ones. It's mostly just like the get rich quick scenes.
You
it's
should not
mostly
be
people
trying to get rich though. Being a pastor,
Yeah, no,
that's
you
insane.
can't.
You should be. You're in the wrong game.
Yeah. But you get in the game and it just gets you excited. You just see people, you know, like it's the same, like they get in front of a big crowd. They're like, ooh, God wants me to serve the community. Like they get excited. You can't blame them a little bit. But yeah, they get pulled into it. But all art, man, because you're creating like a ship. You know, you as a human being there's like almost like a whole ship coming out of you where it's like, you know, you have fuel, you have like let's say it's an airplane. You have a certain amount of fuel, you have a certain amount of like, you know, a distance you can go or whatever it is. And it's like building this thing. It's like, you know, your mental health is like this fuel tank. Your time becomes this fuel tank, your finances, everything. When you're getting serious on YouTube, everything has to get tight.
You're right.
Or it's not going to hit. It's not going to work really.
And people optimize for speed. They optimize for like, hey, let me get, they don't see the long-term stuff. I've been obsessed. I've literally thought about this problem ever since I was doing new home sales right out of college. So I got out of college, tried YouTube for a bit. And then I started basically like selling homes.
Wow.
Because basically I felt that I couldn't get married without a job, like a real job. I felt like my family in-laws wouldn't respect me. So I was making no money on YouTube. So I'm like, how can, I don't know. It's very like almost an old school way of thinking. Like I cannot marry this person without having an income to like support them kind of thing. Even though she made a lot more money than me for quite a number of years.
That's great.
But I really felt strongly about that. So I was at this job selling houses. Is the most BS job I've ever been a part of, because it was really like you just sat there and people came in and they wanted the house or not. Your selling did nothing, because you just had, it's like kind of selling cars. It's like you just have a product. They either like it or they don't. They either buy it or they don't. And people spend so much time trying to like learn like the art of selling those houses. But at that price point, it's not like selling, you know, Tupperware or something where you can talk someone into an impulse decision. They're buying a house. It's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it just comes down to, are they really interested? Anyways, I would watch my sales manager like chase his tail about these sales, where he was so obsessed with the numbers. And what he didn't understand is that he would rob from the future to get numbers today. So what he would do is like, he'd be like, hey, let's move up these sales from next quarter. Let's close them today. So let's close them at the end of this quarter. But what he didn't understand is like, well, you're just robbing from next quarter. That would have been a sale for next quarter. Now we're like behind for the next quarter. So I watch this and I go, well, this is the most delusional thinking I've ever seen. And then I get into YouTube and I see myself and other people make similar stupid short-sighted mistakes. That short-sighted mistake being, I gotta put out all the videos today. I gotta work myself. I can't take a break. I have to work all the time, 7 days a week. And it's like, there is a time for that. There's a time for the grind. But at the same time, if you do not sustainably do something, and you just focus on these outward metrics that you can measure, you end up like hurting your long-term stuff. So I've always been fascinated by that. And it's definitely something easier said than done, because as much as I thought it was so obvious when I was doing like the underling stuff, like now that I'm like in the position to see them, like the metrics, it's like, it is hard to not pay attention to that stuff.
It is hard, man. And every great YouTube motivational video or like how to write YouTube video, whatever, they all say this. They're like, you're going to get in this trap of like, oh, I got to look at the numbers. I got to look at the analytics, whatever. And it's like, if you don't genuinely love something, it's not going to be good. It's got to come from your heart. It's got to be tight. It's got to be cool. Like you're excited about it, passionate, like confident in every word of it. Dude, there's people that literally will just steal another video word for word and just say it. In the sales game?
Yeah. Well,
what are they doing?
Well, and those people never have longevity. I mean, that is something that, listen, I think Rogan is like a great example of someone who's well adjusted to that stuff. Because when he says he doesn't look at the internet or he doesn't look at various things, I actually believe him. Yeah. Like he seems to have a good balance in his life where he goes and he works out, he does his comedy thing. And like, I think for someone as high profile as him, that is so rare. That is like an amazing, like, even if he seems not well adjusted, for his level, he's extremely well adjusted.
Dude, that's why they all hate him. That's why they all hate him. They're at the networks. They're like, they can't get any hits. And they're like, this guy just having fun has hits. What the hell are we doing? You know, like, it's like you ignored him all those years. And it's like, yeah, he's being himself. He's being genuine. And they go, we got to do what Rogan's doing. Okay, well, he's cutting the clips and he put the clips. Okay, let's do 10 clips a day. We'll beat Rogan. It's like, you're not going to beat him. It's like the conversation is about something.
Yeah, he has he has this level of detachment from it, which I think is really valuable.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, when you see great artists, that is like almost always the case. And it's always depressing when you see an artist that you respect who cares about numbers, who cares about like sales and stuff. Like, isn't that always depressing?
It is. The best artists I know are like, they're just so cool. They're like, baby, do what's in your heart.
Yeah. I love it. That is what I aspire. That is what I aspire to. Is just a level of zen about it all. Just like, I don't care. I'm just doing the great work, and I want to do great work. I mean, I don't think I'm doing great work yet, but I aspire to it.
Yeah, same, man. I mean, we all are. That's even when we think we're chasing after numbers, we're lying to ourselves. What we really want is that.
What are you chasing? Tell me a bit about yourself. We've had therapy session with Coffeezilla, Stephen.
I'll tell you.
Tell me what you're doing. Tell me how you are.
I'm very happy with my loving kindness congregation. I teach a service every Sunday, 9 p.m. It's not for everyone, but the people who come love it, and they love me, and we hang out, and they give me money, and it's very reasonable. It's like $5 a month. All
right, I feel like this is a sales pitch. Get off the sales pitch, Amish.
No. And the moral of the story is, you are loved because you are loved. Such is the nature of loving kindness. Okay? So now that I've done my karmas, make sure you do your karmas, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and sign up for meditation. Ascension is upon us, foolish. Sign up for meditation immediately. Ha! Am I still here?